Yeah. Post WrestleMania 38 night one. Well, damn, folks, it's been a while since I talked some WWE. But like I said to my friends, I was like, feeling kind of nostalgic. Started thinking about it. One of my old favorites is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Hence the look. I've had this look for as long as I've been a fan of his and Goldberg's, but man, I'm laughing at the chat here. Shocked you're even doing this. Well, yeah, because I don't normally cover WWE. But you know what? I would say as a wrestling fan, and that's what I call myself. I'm a wrestling fan. I love all sorts of wrestling. I took a very long break from WrestleMania for a number of reasons. I needed a break. I had been watching them for God knows how long. And well, it's that season, Wrestling is in the air. It's like no matter what you're in Dallas, Texas for, it all centers around WrestleMania. You can't escape it. And it is what it is. And I haven't seen one in a few years. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed this. I signed up for the Peacock the other day. I was like, even if I don't watch it on a daily basis, because I watch a lot of other stuff. I'm watching AEW, I'm watching Impact, I watch other specials, whatever. Other things outside of wrestling. Oh, heaven forbid, And not that I talk about it all on here. Some stuff I just watch for the sake of watching, So let's talk about this. I know it's late. It was a long show, but it felt like it flew. It really did feel like it flew. It started at like 5:00 my time. They had a 2-hour pre-show, but I don't think there was any matches. They had preliminary stuff last night, which was weird. That's the first time they did that. They had some matches last night, and then they had the Hall of Fame, which they showed highlights for during the show here and there, which I'm gonna watch at some point. I'll say this: for as loud as that place got tonight. Now I've heard the loudest that I can recall. The loudest that I can recall is the return of CM Punk from last year. That was, that damn near blew my TV up. But then I heard Stone Cold Steve Austin arrive tonight, and then the reaction of the crowd realizing that they were going to get not just a match. Oh no. He was challenged for a no holds barred match. I was like, oh, I mean, I've got goosebumps just saying that. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. All this stuff that they they put out into, you know, the social medias from the dirt sheets, like, oh, Stone Cold's upset. Oh, he's not ready. He doesn't want to do this. He's upset. Oh, they just put all this stuff out there. Why don't you, you know, put out something nice like, oh, Steve Austin knit a quilt the other day. You know, it's like, instead of all this negativity. I'm kidding. Yeah, after 19 years, right? So, all right, but so before we start really digging into all this, you folks know what to do. Smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Oh, man. Not much of a voice tonight. My apologies. Bit of a rough day, but anyways. If you're on Twitch, you can cheer bits. You can sub. You can gift subs. All that lovely stuff. If you're on the Team YouTube, you can cheer with the super chat and the super stickers and all that lovely stuff. Just like Courtney did here with the super sticker. Thanks, hon. Appreciate it. Great way to start out the night. So technically, this is my second show of the day. Technically, because I did a show this morning with Uncle Mark and T&I. Oh, and Simply Steve joined us. Please go check it out. It's over on that other little podcast called Total Nonstop Impact. So WrestleMania Night 1. WrestleMania 38, April 2nd, 2022. Now, I was a little worried that there were some of these guys that I really wasn't going to know. And I was right. Some of these guys really just didn't ring a bell. Like, I heard of them, but I really didn't see much of them over the last few years because I just haven't been watching. But I knew enough that I could enjoy this. So we started out here, and I gotta say, man, with the way they did the production and the stage setup and the ramp, man, everything looked like it was just larger than life. You know, they do it right. They do. And yeah, it's all right, Courtney. Go ahead. Go do what you got to do. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for the super sticker. Much love. So we had Nakamura and Boogs. Now, I heard of this Boogs, but I didn't know he was playing guitar and playing people out. Like, I knew he played guitar, but I didn't know he was playing guitar like live. So he starts playing Nakamura's song. They got matching ring gear, which I thought was cool. So for those of you that do know, please tell me how long Boogs has been with Nakamura. It couldn't have been that long. This has to be like a recent thing, right? Within the last, say, half a year-ish, maybe. It's got to be something new. And they're facing the Usos, who are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. It's good to see the Usos back, because I know they had a few rough years where between rehabs and injuries and stuff, they weren't together. And Jey Uso, from what I remember, really started coming into his own as a singles player, which was great to see. Because, God, if you know the WWE, if you're part of a tag team and you one half of your team goes injured, you're not going to see the other half till said injured half is all better, you know. So it is good, and And I will say this, the Usos still, in my professional podcasting opinion, are one of the best tag teams out there. When they are healthy and together, I'll say that. I still respect them, you know? So the Usos take this one. Boogs apparently tore his ACL or something, you know. Cole's got to do all these technical terms, like the 50 parts of the knee that are attached to this bone and that bone. No, just tell me he's injured. Okay. You're talking to an audience that's drinking beer and is half awake. Stop with the medical exam, please. As I'm sipping my watermelon. What the hell is this? A shock. Which is tasty, by the way. It's not beer ski, but it's tasty. I'll tell you, the end of this show tonight made me very thirsty. Buckshot Kid, what's up, man? So yeah, decent opener here. Next, we had a history lesson talking about how sad Corbin turned into happy Corbin when he faced Drew McIntyre. I mean, I'll give it to Corbin, man. He's really lucked out in some like high profile matches. He really has. Love him, hate him, whatever. He's doing it. I was teasing Mrs. JAYBONE during the show. And I was like, remember when Corbin had the long flowing hair and he would come out to the badass theme and he had the vest on with the wolf on it and you just loved him? She goes, no. I didn't love him. I loved what he wore. And I was like, oh no, you went goo goo gaga over him. And she, oh my gosh, she didn't like that. She didn't like that. So as I stare up at my rare Corbin NXT figure with the long hair and the old school look, it makes me giggle. It's like, man, this guy's really changed over the years. But that's the thing is that's why they keep him around. You look at everyone they let go and you're like, well, why didn't they let go of this guy? Well, look at his career. He's changed at least his gimmick, whatever, every couple years. He's kept it fresh. He was sad. He was happy. He was like a badass biker with less than 5-minute matches, stomping a mud hole at people. He's done it all. I give him credit. So he's facing Drew McIntyre here. Drew McIntyre looks healthy. He looks like he's in really good shape here. And Drew McIntyre gets the win. He just throws Corbin all over the damn place. So, now next was interesting. We had Rey Mysterio and Dominik tagging for the first time. From what it sounds like, it's the first time at a WrestleMania. Now, I thought they tagged before at a WrestleMania, but I know the last few years have been wonky, to say the least. So for not watching the last few Manias, I don't remember what they were doing or what Dominik was doing. So from what I could gather, this is the first time they're tagging together at a WrestleMania. So I'm happy that they could do that. That's pretty cool. They're facing The Miz and someone who I know the YouTube community basically loathes. And I remembered myself as I was watching this that Logan Paul was one of the reasons I boycotted last year. And I was like, well, maybe there's enough from this show going on this weekend that I can enjoy outside of said individual. And I was right. Because you know what? Even though I hate Logan Paul and everything that he's done with the YouTube community, I love The Miz. And after the end of this match, I loved him even more. I did. It was hilarious. They had a pretty, I mean, and I'll, as much as it absolutely kills me to do this, I'll say that Logan Paul did okay. He did okay. I'm not going to sit here and say he had match of the night, but he went out there and everyone protected him, and his athleticism shone through, and he did okay. That's all I'm going to give him. That's all I'm going to give him is okay. And all right, well, this is interesting. I got to read this. Buckshot Kid, good evening, buddy. He says, Logan Paul looked good in the ring, and I'm actually looking forward to The Miz versus Logan Paul. I as far as people from the WWE, I love The Miz, and I've got a ton of respect for him because he is a guy who has hustled over the last, I don't know how many years. And I mean, I hated him when he wrestled John Cena and headlined that one WrestleMania where he was champ and he won. I didn't think he deserved it then. But then years later, seeing his hustle and realizing how good he was, I wanted him to become champ again. But then lo and behold, he becomes champ, and I'm really not watching that much. Now I'm kind of wishing I watched a little bit of it, but then he was like injured after that, shortly after or something. I mean, it's you know, it's all blurry because I really wasn't watching much over the last few years. But I did enjoy this match. I felt like Rey Mysterio, as old as he is, as long as he's been doing this, I felt like he had a decent match with his son. You know, they did the double 619 patented stuff. You know, can't complain about that. That was all good. That was all good. Yeah. Yeah, Buckshot Kid says, I'm not a fan of the Paul brothers, but they know how to get the heat. They had his brother, they had Logan Paul's brother on the pre-show, and the crowd just let him have it. And he's like, come on, come on, come on. And he's going, boo, boo. And the panel's like, what are you doing? Who are you booing? He's like, I'm booing myself. It's like, oh, all right. He's booing himself. But and he said something about Mayweather or something. I don't know. But yeah, it was fun. And then as soon as Miz and Logan Paul won, he gave Logan Paul a skull-crushing finale, and basically, you know, it kind of reminded me of like a classic Stone Cold, like, yeah, I got you, you know. But the look was priceless. You know, they got their arms raised, and then the Miz, he had that smirk, and then he's looking at him out of the corner of his eye, and then, you know, wham, just stuck his face in the mat, which, you know, made me pop. I'm not going to lie, because I know there's a lot of fans that don't like him, you know, but then they respected the Miz for doing that. And I was like, okay, yeah, that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. So far watching this, that's the highlight. I was like, okay, I love the Miz. That works. Thank you. Skull crushing finale to Logan Paul made my night so far. All right, we're on the right track. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. That was pretty good. Bianca Belair gets another WrestleMania spot here for the win. That's 2 in a row, I think, for her. 2 Manias in a row that she got big wins. Last year, of course, was the first time she became women's champ. This is just, you know, number 2 or whatever it was. Becky Lynch, let's talk about her ring gear for a minute. Man, she came out looking like Daryl Hannah in Blade Runner or something real similar to that. I said that too, Buckshots. It reminded me of a David Bowie kind of look. But nonetheless, it was like an 80s, like a glam, nouveau kind of look or whatever the hell they called that back then. So, but I dug it. Of course, she's like, I liked her old look. I don't like this new look. I'm like, oh, you hate the look? She goes, yeah. I'm like, she pissed you off. She did her job. She's a heel. Glam rock. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Classic glam rock. Not like Poison, but like Bowie-esque. Yeah, totally. So yeah, super late 70s, early 80s kind of Blade Runner type of look. Yeah, I dug it. I thought she pulled it off good. And she showed up and she just, man, such a 180 change, from what she used to be. Like just a radical change. But I dig it. She did it well. I don't know who did her hair or makeup or whatever. Or I honestly, I would love to know who came up with this concept. And as much as I like collecting AEW figures and a few WWE figures here and there, depending on who it is, I would love to get a Becky Lynch in this ring gear. I think that would just be badass. It's so unique. I don't know. Let me know what you thought of it. But good match. I mean, Becky Lynch. I mean, props to Bianca Belair. I still feel like I don't want to say she's green. She's gotten past that, but sometimes in the ring it just seemed like it was a little. I don't know how to describe it. It's not like watching some of the wrestlers of old. It just feels like she needs a little more oomph. Like sometimes but I haven't watched her in a long time either. This is the first time I'm watching WWE stuff in a long time. But overall, it was very good. It was very good. Oh, Buckshot Kid says WWE has a video of her getting her hair cut on YouTube. No. See, now I did hear that she got her hair cut from Bianca Belair. She cut like a section of it. Now, are you talking about like a behind the scenes thing like I was talking about? Or are you talking about when Bianca Belair snipped her hair? Because she didn't snip much of her hair. It was like, if she wanted to do some damage, she could have, taken a hunk, but that wasn't the point there. It was just the fact that she got some hair, for the pop. Oh, behind the scenes. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. I'll watch that. See, that kind of stuff fascinates me. Like when I was talking to Masha Slamovich, that was one of the things that I was excited about asking her because I hadn't heard. I was trying to come up with some of the basic stuff for the sake of the audience, not knowing who she was, but I wanted to throw in unique stuff like her hair. No one's talking about her hair. I think it's incredible. Like the mohawk, whatever you want to call it, So we had a very brief conversation about it. It was great. So yeah, I'll check that out. Thanks, Buckshot. If you want, I don't know what socials you're on, but hit me up on social media. Drop me the video in my DMs if you want. But yeah, it was Becky Lynch was a great heel in this. She was just nasty. I was impressed. But Bianca Belair did get a win here, and I'm glad they gave this one a really decent amount of time. and I'll say for the selection of matches, I was really happy with what I saw tonight. I didn't know, like I knew who was headlining what nights and whatever, but I didn't know beyond that what we were getting. So I didn't know if we were getting a Seth Rollins match tonight. I didn't know if we were getting AJ and Edge tonight. I had no clue. But with the selection we got, I was happy with it. So next there was a lot of hype behind this. And it looks like Seth Rollins has completely lost his mind. And he's always been kind of heelish and snarky, but now he's like this over the top fashionista, and he's just wacko, and I kind of dig it. So he got his match. He comes out after they do the behind the, like, oh, how did we get here? The meeting with Vince, all that. They play that. And then he comes out and he's wearing this blue fuzzy cape jacket thing, and he's spinning around, and he's running down to the ring, and it's flowing behind him. And I was like, what the hell is... I'm like, Seth Rollins looks like he killed Cookie Monster and wore him to the ring. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Oh. R is for Rollins. But gets down to the ring, takes off his stuff, and he's like, all right, come on. Who is it? Lights go out. There's a spotlight on Seth, and all you see is she's just staring into the abyss of the rest of the stadium. I love how they did this. And all of a sudden, thanks, Buckshot Kid. Thank you. Appreciate it. Link is in the TNI Discord. Thank you. And as soon as you heard the Cody's voice, the start of the song, okay. As soon as you hear the opening part of that, if you've watched any of his stuff over the last handful of years, he's had this theme, and he brought it to the WWE. And I think that's really smart. As soon as you hear it, there's no second guessing. Because I know there's fans like me that followed him to the WWE. I love Cody. I know there's fans out there that can't stand him, but I'm really excited to see what he does in the WWE. This is a fresh start for him. I don't really want to get into the whole political discussion of why. Yes, of course, we all wonder why. I know there was an interview dropped today. I'll read that at some point later, as far as him revealing why, which should be interesting. But this was, with as far as like wrestling match, this was wrestling match of the night. Absolutely. Without a doubt. This was an amazing, top to bottom, well story told match. Cody, welcome back to the WWE. I hope you get what you came for. And I mean that in a great way. He left the WWE because he wasn't getting what he wanted. He wanted so much more, and he was just, eating catering, and all he wanted to do was wrestle and do what he loves to do. and he wasn't given the chance. So he asked for his release. And, well, we all know the journey he took. And that's what really made me respect him more for doing what he did, you know? And for whatever reason, he's back now. And I hope he's getting paid an absolute buttload of money from Vinnie Mac. You know, he's probably getting, I'd imagine he's getting paid more than he was from Tony. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. Do I have to know what he's getting? No. Do I have to know the time on the deal? No. I'm happy to see him because I missed him on my TV because he is one of my favorites. And he had a great match with Seth Rollins. He really did. It was good to see Seth. It was great to see Cody. I should say it was great to see Seth because I don't really know this snarky, goofy, over the top character that he's doing. Hey, I think it's okay from what I'm seeing. But I can't wait to see the fallout from this. Now, are they on Raw or SmackDown? I feel like it's Raw, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll see. I know this week's SmackDown coming up this week is in Milwaukee, which, you know, part of me wants to go, but from what I really would want to see, I'm not going to see because it's not on SmackDown. So I'm kind of like, I'll pass. You know, I don't want to see Johnny Knoxville. I'm not up on that, really. I just, and I'm over the whole Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar thing. I'll watch tomorrow night, and then I'm sure I'll talk about it. But I'm glad I saw what I saw tonight. Absolutely. They're on Raw. To Love Impact says, I heard $3 million. Well, you know what? It's not bad. That's not bad. So, yeah, Swag fan, exactly. Yeah, I hope Vince sees it now. Yeah, I mean, think about it. They just nabbed a former EVP from your top competition. That's a hell of a win, I would think, in the, you know, realm of wrestling. You know? So, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Justin Miller says, I'm happy for him. I hope she's not jobbing in a year. You know? Yeah. We'll see, you know? It's a fresh start. He's you know, big. I've come to the point as a wrestling fan, you try to look at it from their point of view. You know, he's got a wife and he's got a kid now. That changes everything. If you're on your own, you can do whatever the hell you want. You know, no responsibilities except for taking care of yourself. It's not the way it is now. So, but yeah, amazing match. Beats him with 3 crossroads. Good stuff. Crowd loved seeing Cody again. They really did. Yeah, he kissed the ring. Yeah. Kissed the canvas. Yep. Like he was happy to be home. You know? So, yeah, not much else to say about that. Then there was Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. I wasn't impressed with this, really. I really wasn't. I felt like Ronda's stuff felt sloppy to me. I felt like, well, I mean, like some of the moves they pulled off were decent, but I was never super impressed with Ronda Rousey anyways. So for headlining what people said was going to headline tonight besides the KO show. I felt like this could have been way farther down on the card and had other stuff scooted up, like Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair was a lot better, honestly, in my professional podcasting opinion. So, yeah, little Nate. Oh man, yeah, that was funny. So yeah, Charlotte retained here. She is still SmackDown Women's Champ. And then, the heat of the night. Kevin Owens comes down to an absolute sea of almost 80,000 boos. And his set is ready for him. And he's talking to the crowd. And he gets, we get Stone Cold out there. And oh my God. That place just... Man, I haven't heard a pop like that since CM Punk, and that was probably 7 times less, whatever that was. I don't know what that place held that when CM Punk came back, but man, this place, between 70 and 80,000. I mean, that place looked pretty packed. Honestly, it looked like they really filled it up nicely compared to what it was a few weeks ago. It seemed like they were having trouble selling tickets, and man, it looked loaded to me. Honestly, really looked loaded. So, yeah, Stone Cold coming out. Man, I was on the edge of my seat. I was pretty relaxed all night. Nothing really made me get on the edge of my seat. Very happy when, Cody came out and won. But as soon as the last segment started, I was like, okay, here we go. What are we getting? Are we going to get him coming down to the ring, stunner, drink a beer, leave? Are we getting like a 5-minute segment here to end the night? No, Kevin Owens gets real. He's real calm, real cool. He's like, I tricked you. I tricked you, Steve Austin. I tricked you. I brought you down here to challenge you to a no-holds-barred match. And oh my God, and this roar from the crowd just grew and grew and grew. And Stone Cold, he's looking around, and the more he's looking around, and they show the crowd, and the crowd's reacting, and he looks the other way, and the crowd gets louder and louder. And someone get me a goddamn ref down here right now. I was like, oh my God, we're getting a no-holds-barred match. Holy shit. I was absolutely on the edge of my seat. They went all over the place, up the ramp, one side of the stage, other side of the stage, back down the ramp, around the ring, out to the crowd, back, chairs, table spots, beer. He must have went through like 3 cases of beer in this segment. It was just crazy. He took some bumps. He really did, But if anyone's going to work with him and protect him, it's going to be Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is one of the best in the company. He's one of the most, I'll say, professional guys, if you're going to bring back a veteran, you put him with a guy like him. You put him with a guy like, not Seth Rollins. I'm kidding. I'm sure Seth Rollins is great. It's, it's not ballet. Accidents happen. Any veteran like that. The Miz. Miz is another great example. It's Austin looks like he's still in like tremendous shape. Like, look at all the interviews he's doing, and he's talking, and he talks a lot with his arms, and you see his biceps and his triceps and all of the whatever the whatever the forceps. No, that's not a thing. His arms look jacked. His arms looked absolutely jacked. The guy's been taking care of himself. It's okay. So here's an opinion. So here, Buckshot Kid says this match didn't make Owens look good. A loss to an old man who hasn't wrestled in 19 years, and Austin looks in way better shape. I agree, but I'd rather see Owens lose in a match like this than in 10 seconds to a guy like Goldberg, which also happened in Milwaukee. When he lost the title, KO lost the title, which I love Goldberg, but I didn't want to see Kevin Owens lose to him, but I was like, whatever. It's at least you went out there and had a slobber knocker of a match, and and there was no blood. There didn't have. I thought they were gonna. He's going underneath the curtain of the ring. He's gonna come out. And he's gonna have a crimson whatever. No, there was no blood. Didn't have to be. I have no clue what the time was on this, but props to the ref that ran all over the place with him, and Stone Cold appreciated it too, and gave him a beer at the end, which I thought was pretty nice, and damn, I don't know if this is the last thing for Stone Cold, but he looked like $1 million. He took care of himself. These KO and Stone Cold took care of each other out there and had a hell of a fight and took it all over the place. It was very entertaining, and I dug it. I love Stone Cold, and I love Kevin Owens too. Yeah. Yeah, Austin knows he's going to be sore tomorrow. But when those old bones wake up, adrenaline kicks in, and it said, whatever. Yeah. Like, someone get me a goddamn ref. But I love all the crap that was put out there. All this crap about Stone Cold. Oh, he didn't want a match, and he's pissed off, and blah, 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 blah. And, it's just, whatever. None of that shit matters when you have a great moment like this at the end of the night. None of that matters. It's all bullshit. So, yeah. It was a fun night one. It really was. I dug it. Made me for a guy that has not watched WWE content in a long time, with the exception of like the Stone Cold interviews, when he does the Broken Skull sessions. I dug this. I came away more happy and satisfied than I thought I was gonna be, honestly. Night two, well, we'll see. Because the way I'm feeling right now, and as jacked up as I was at the end of this, like feeling wise, feeling happy about what I saw, I was like, man, I got this gnawing feeling that night 2 isn't even going to come close to this. I hope I'm wrong. But I have this feeling like I'm going to, and if I'm wrong, I'll talk about it tomorrow. But I have this feeling like, it's like, oh man, they should have had KO and Stone Cold at the end of night 2. But they had to have you go into this thinking that it was just going to be a confrontation, not a real match. Because I know it just blew people's minds, like, oh, we're getting a match from Stone Cold. But just the fact that he's there, man, it's Texas. 70,000 plus people. Hell yeah. Dude, as soon as you hear that glass, boom, it's over. It's over. You get the pop, Very happy. So, overall, dug it. Satisfied with it. For not watching for a long time, like I said. Yeah, Saxton even got one. Yeah, poor Saxton. I thought that was funny. I was like, oh, shoot, is the rest of the crew going up there to get stunned? So yeah, it is what it is. I dug it, and that's it. So I'll be back tomorrow night. So I think what we're going to do for TNI, for those of you that watch TNI too, we usually have the family dinner. I think we're going to do it Tuesday because of this. And so I'll be reviewing night 2. And so yeah, come on back. We'll talk about night 2 tomorrow night. And family dinner will get just moved. We're not, erasing it for the Patreons because TNI loves their Patreons. Love giving them content. And yeah, so if you're watching the replay of this, let me know what you thought of it. Honestly, did you dig night 1? Did you like what you saw? Did you not like what you saw? And yeah, be honest. Just let me know. I can take it. Really, I can. So, so yeah. So much love, everyone. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. And on your way out, don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of my content hits your screens. See you tomorrow night.